plenty people no get for vote the time for election? Not because they no want for vote, but now because of this simple mistake where I can't tell you what so, now go make plenty people no vote. Right now, as the Electoral Commission Salon don't pull the date for vote and for register, plenty people just the yagba and they rush go do things them as then they tell them for do. But hey, members say registration, the voter registration, they begin from the 3rd of September to the 4th of October 2022. Then a number one step we go give you guarantee say you go vote. But if you make mistake during this time, you no go for vote. And I think this way person no go able for help people. What in this mean? It means say no ever register na the area where you dey work, do business, or where you dey go school. You know what it make? You don't know. Sometimes the time for the election, then go say public transport not for run. This na big challenge for you. Remember, if you tap na Calbaton and then you dey work na Lumley, how you go able for go and vote na that side? You go able for waka? The answer na no. So, no make that mistake there. As them blow the whistle when they say, hey, today na the 3rd of September for begin the voter registration. Do ya try by all possible means for register na the center where they near you house. So the day when they go say for voting, whether Mutuka deal, Mutuka not deal, not to you business. You dey go serve na morning, vote, return back na you house. So you see, if you make this mistake, the possibility go they say you no go vote 2023. So waiting at this yagba now for say me party go continue for then a power or me party go return a power if I not able for vote. You want vote, they change the whole situation. You know say plenty people no get for vote the time for election? Not because they no want for vote, but now because of this simple mistake where I can't tell you what so, now go make plenty people no vote. Right now, as the Electoral Commission Salon don't pull the date for vote and for register, plenty people just the yagba and they rush go do things them as then they tell them for do. But hey, members say registration, the voter registration, they begin from the 3rd of September to the 4th of October 2022. Then a number one step we go give you guarantee say you go vote. But if you make mistake during this time, you no go for vote. And I think this way person no go able for help people. What in this mean? It means say no ever register na the area where you dey work, do business, or where you dey go school. You know what it make? You don't know. Sometimes the time for the election, then go say public transport not for run. This na big challenge for you. Remember, if you tap na Calbaton and then you dey work na Lumley, how you go able for go and vote na that side? You go able for waka? The answer na no. So, no make that mistake there. As them blow the whistle when they say, hey, today na the 3rd of September for begin the voter registration. Do ya?
May their soul rest in peace. Please be seated. Your Excellencies, let me now present that the facts as presented by the security sector, headed by the Office of National Security, and the facts. The widely rumored, or I can call it, publicized demonstration, or so-called demonstration of the 10th August 2022, actually took place in the Western area, becoming ferocious and fatal in some parts of Freetown and in the north and northwest regions. Terrorists, in the guise of protesters, took to the streets, with some bearing firearms, including AK-47 rifles, self-loading rifles, and pistols, machetes, some holding placards, barricading roads, and engaging in righteous conduct using innocent children as shield. Initially, having been instructed to remain civil and professional, the Sierra Leone police force encouraged them to disperse. I have taken advantage of the professionalism of the police. The terrorists, in the guise of protesters, became violent and chanted for the removal of His Excellency the President, Julius Maada, democratically and constitutionally elected. In the effrontery, the terrorists killed a number of police officers, mutilated some, and burned down police stations and government vehicles. So now let me give you a more detailed description of the situation that emerged yesterday and a clear picture of what happened across the country. So we have a very clear sense of events of yesterday. Let me start with the western rural area. At about 800 hours in the morning, protesting terrorists started to assemble at 555 base Bassa town and 4 Mile Junction in Waterloo, holding placards and illegal weapons. The Sierra Leone police personnel attempted to disperse them, but they regrouped in large numbers and began their violent insurrection, burning tires, making roadblocks, and chanting treasonous songs. Some arrests were made, with perpetrators taken to the Waterloo police station. The police station at City Town in Waterloo was set on fire by these violent terrorists. Government vehicles were also set ablaze in Washington by these violent terrorists. This is a demonstration of some of the pictures. So throughout the presentation, we will show you graphic images that will shock your sensitivity. This is not a demonstration. So now let me move on to the western area, western urban area. At about 7:30 in the morning, these terrorists confronted a few civil Sierra Leone police personnel in Wellington, Calabar Town, Branham Market, Approved School, Ferry Junction, Eastern Police, among others. Police officers fired tear gas canisters, hoping that the protesting terrorists would disperse. However, they didn't. Rather, they regrouped and in an increased violent disposition, charging for the police, who because of their numbers, they had to withdraw. The protesting terrorists continued advancing, chanting that they are heading to State House to violently remove President Hill. On route Sunny Abacha Street, they chanted that they were heading to share State Street through PZ roundabout and Wilberforce Street to subvert the presidency at State House. They were resisted by a joint team of the Sierra Leone Police and the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces personnel, with some arrested. In Calabar Town, another protesting terrorist group vandalized the SLP party attire base used for social liberation. At Shell, at New Shell, and Old Roads, there were confrontations between the terrorists and SLP, the Sierra Leone police personnel. The protesting terrorists mounted roadblocks to prevent vehicular movements. Along Shell Old Road, they invaded the police post at Approved School and Wellington, vandalized the structures, and released violent images. the released prisoners later joined the terrorists, swelling up their lungs. An OIC officer who was carrying out his legitimate duty to disperse the pretended terrorists or dissuade them from carrying out their diabolic plan was lynched and brutally killed, murdered in cold blood and precision. At Ferry Junction, the protesting terrorists obstructed innocent vendors, civilians, market women, and violently abused them for not draining them, and they mounted checkpoints to prevent vehicular movements. Now let me move on to the southern region of the country. In Kujeon, in Ibom, in Moyamba, in the whole districts, none of the prevailed, and people went about their normal business. No threats of demonstration was evident or reported. Now to the northwest region. At about 6 a.m., protesting terrorists took to the streets in Kamakwe and Karamini districts. The Sierra Leone police presence was very thin on the ground, so they did not neutralize the terrorists. On the contrary, the terrorists attacked the unarmed SLP support officer, Superintendent Usman Oman, who was on duty, and they butchered him to death. And that's if the police officer actually see him. So based on intelligence, the terrorists are raising up to attack government officials and properties. In Longe and Tisakamo, the terrorists assembled in large numbers and attempted to break into the British International Airport, but illegally repelled by the joint force of the Sierra Leone Police and the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces personnel. Now let me come on to the northern region. In Magoroga, terrorists violently took to the streets and barricaded the roads, preventing vehicular, motorbike, and tricycle movement. The intention was to cause a cessation in normal daily activities to give a semblance of anarchy in Magoroga. In Bibikolo, some of the female protesting terrorists using children as shields took to the streets, brandishing flags and chanting, "Bill must go, Bill must go." Some others were laid. In Makini, the terrorists assembled at Obana Road around the clock tower, holding back and chanting, "Bill must go." The family house of the resident minister of the North was vandalized, and he assessed the situation, and therefore immediately declared curfew. In the eastern region, Kenya, Kaila, and Kono districts were calm and peaceful. In order to avert what had happened in Freetown and other parts of the country, the stakeholders in the eastern region, in their respective district headquarters, made media outreach to sensitize the public to be peaceful and law abiding. Your Excellency, now the analysis. Firstly, this is not and was not a demonstration or peaceful demonstration. No one, and I repeat, no one must fool themselves or under any illusion whatsoever that this was a demonstration or a peaceful demonstration. This is simply and evidently a violent insurrection by terrorists whose primary aim is to destroy the peace, security, and stability of this country. Your Excellencies, you do not go to a protest march or a demonstration about high cost of living crisis, which is affecting all countries of the world, including the United Kingdom, where I just came out from last week. You do not go to a demonstration with guns, with pistols, with AK-47 rifles, with self-loading rifles, with machetes. This was not a demonstration. This was not a peaceful demonstration. This was a violent insurrection. Secondly, the cardinal figures, the shocking brutality which I will show you, the violence, what you see here is an impulse to let our diplomatic community let them see and make a judgment of themselves. Can the media tell us so much and see? I know this is not the normal practice in the West of the media to show graphic images, but these are serious millions, butchered, hacked to death. We want to shock you so that you understand and appreciate that this was not a demonstration, that this was not a peaceful demonstration, but a violent insurrection. Take a look at it. This is not in any way breaking diplomatic protocols. Your Excellencies, the cardinal figures, the shocking brutality and violence that shows beyond all reasonable doubt that this was not a demonstration. And let me give you the statistics. 5 police officers killed. Can you please bring up all the pictures of the 5 police officers killed? 2 in Freetown, 2 in Yamakiri, and 1 in Makiri, including the female police officer who was just doing her job. All the police officers have killed. 5 police officers killed while doing a constitutional and legislative function. Please take a look at these police officers. They left their homes, left their children, left their husbands and wives to serve the state responsibilities and constitutional responsibilities. But they were never to return back home to their loved ones. These are the 5 police officers more butchered. We have the opportunity to bring them home. We have the opportunity to sit there and listen to this private freedom. So we please, the families don't have that opportunity to call them every day, to kiss them. 6 civilians have been killed. Innocent civilians who have nothing to do with this violent insurrection. But here, the caveat is that we are still able to assassinate the full scale of the casualty videos for civilians. So 1 police station was burned down in Kamakiri. Can you see the police station that was burned down in Kamakiri? That's the one. Burned down, the police station. The very symbol of state authority of law and order. Burned down. 6 police stations were vandalized. The approved school for prisoners at Kontozor in Wellington was vandalized, and the violent prisoners released. 2 government of Sierra Leone public buses were burned. Can you see the charred remains? That's a video clip of 2 government buses. The Ministry of Lands, Housing and Country Planning Office in Motozo was burned down. The NASA warehouse in Motozo was burned down. Your Excellencies, I do not want to insult your intelligence or to to be accused of diplomatic utterances. But based on these verifiable, credible figures and the pictures are shown, this the question I want to raise. If it is a demonstration, if it is a peaceful demonstration, that's the question that we have to answer. From our side, this is a well-planned, orchestrated, premeditated, financed, violent insurrection, determined to destroy the hard-won peace and stability of this country. The hard-won peace that all of you have contributed to make it possible. That today, before yesterday, Sierra Leone was a shining example of a country of standing in the international community. It's a successful case of post-war peace building and state reconstruction. This is what we are told across the globe. The German Prime Minister said, Sierra Leone is a successful case of post-war peace building. Sierra Leone is respected as a credible state and the United Nations. Sierra Leone is seen as a shining example. Before yesterday, Sierra Leone was the fourth most peaceful country in Sub-Saharan Africa. This is the objective. To destroy this good image and to destroy all what you have done to bring about peace, security, and stability in this country. The third analysis is very clear. The terrorist attack and violent insurrection is an attack on democracy in Sierra Leone. It is a violent attack on the progressive development of Sierra Leone. It is an attack on the peace, security, and stability of Sierra Leone. This is a violent attack on the peace-loving people of Sierra Leone. And let us be clear here. The definition of terrorism or terrorists is very simple. Let's don't be confused here. Check the dictionaries if you want to. The definition is very simple. It means the unlawful use of force and violence to intimidate, brutalize, bully, harass, injure, maim, and kill civilians or state authorities to achieve political aims. You use violence to achieve political aims. Your Excellency, this was what happened yesterday. Those who plan and finance this violent insurrection have only one aim, and that is to achieve their political objectives by using violence to kill, destroy, injure, loot, and destroy the image of Sierra Leone. That is the political objective. So today, I am an academic. I have written extensively on these matters. So don't insult my intelligence that I don't know what I'm talking about when I use the term terrorism and terrorists. That's why I gave a very simple, basic definition. The objective of this political group, using no international criminal resident in the Netherlands, is to violently obstruct the peace, security, and stability of the country, and to violently disrupt the daily and normal activities of ordinary civilians, and to present the international community the semblance of anarchy, and to make Sierra Leone look bad in the eyes of the international community. Creating the impression that Sierra Leone is ungovernable, and in the process, give a very bad publicity to the image and reputation of Sierra Leone as a law and order country, and as a peaceful country. The fourth analysis. Your Excellency, this violent insurrection and terrorist attack took place only, and I repeat, only in the Freetown, in the north and northwest of Sierra Leone. Again, Your Excellencies, Please forgive my undiplomatic commentary, and I don't want to insult your intelligence. But you don't have to be Albert Einstein to know that politically, Freetown, the North, and the Northwest are the strongholds of the opposition ADC party. And the ADC party is on record that they will be Sierra Leone on government. Your Excellencies, you are aware that the opposition ADC media groups and social media groups, including senior ADC officers, councillors and MPs, have been active on social media openly supporting this so-called demonstration, calling on people to rise up against government. I'm sure those of you who are cheering what's happening nationally, you are aware of the hate speech or speeches by opposition ADC senior leaders based on ethnic and tribal bigotry. Please don't tell me you have the same part of all of this. ADC supporters and influencers are busy on social media calling on people to destroy and burn down government installations, government buildings, including state house, the law force, etc., and even the assassination of the president and the first lady. These are all treasonable acts. But what we have not seen is a clear condemnation of these activities that are for ADC opposition. So all the political objective, as I said, firstly, to destabilize Syria. Secondly, to terrorize the people. Thirdly, to destroy the hard-won peace and security of this country. Your Excellency, let me conclude by stating President Yu's commitment to democracy and the rule of law and inclusive development in Sierra Leone for all Sierra Leoneans. President Yu is committed to maintaining and securing the hard-won peace, security, and stability of the country. Your Excellency, be rest assured that the events of this violent insurrection will be fully investigated and those found wanting and culpable through a fair and transparent judicial process will face with the full force of the law. Your Excellencies, let me reassure you that there will be no revenge. We are a responsible government, and it is our responsibility to protect the lives of all Sierra Leoneans. Be rest assured that the government will not spare any resources to make sure that the perpetrators of this violent insurrection are held accountable for their actions, and to remind all Sierra Leoneans that the laws of the land of Sierra Leone are supreme and must protect everyone in the country. Your Excellencies, let me end by recognizing and thanking all those international and national agencies, including civil society organizations, that have come out so unequivocally condemn this violent insurrection. Let me in particular thank and acknowledge the ECOWAS community for coming out with a very clear statement. Let me also recognize and thank and appreciate our sister countries, Liberia and Guinea, whose foreign ministers are called consistently to reassure of their support, their solidarity to making sure that we bring about peace, security, and stability. I've also received telephone messages and calls from West African foreign ministers across Africa and many parts of the world, whose foreign ministers are called to condemn first and foremost the violence and to show their support and solidarity with the government and people of Sierra Leone. I thank you for listening. But before I take take my seat, I want us to spend some time to take a look. So please, it's going to take about 2 minutes. Here is a self-loading rifle. You don't come to a demonstration with a self-loading rifle. This is a pistol. You don't come to a demonstration with pistols. The first-time judges, OSC officers, brutally killed. There is a particular thing I want us to see. We are one of the police officers brutally murdered, but at the same time, the same people we are using, this is the war. Take a look at this. This is a normal serial killing. If you can go back to that thing, I want you to watch the horrors. A police officer butchered, murdered to death, and still they are hanging him to death. Let's take a look at it. Because we are not using some of these things. In our full air condition offices, we are trying to move on the reality. This is our reality. We are a police officer. If that happens in the United Kingdom, if that has happened in the United States, the full force of the law will go out of the country. There will be no question of human rights or fundamental freedoms. There will be no lectures. The female police officer just recently graduated. Our stories to contribute to national development. And that is what we see. Can we go to the debate on the burden of party offices? The SSLP party offices were brutalized, brought down, vandalized. The entire institute for liberation were brutalized, were destroyed. Your Excellencies, let me close by commending all those who have responded to this emergency situation, in particular the Office of National Security and the whole range of security sector, the Sierra Leone Police Force, the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces, for their diligence in rapidly bringing this so-called demonstration, this violent insurrection under control to save lives and property. But let me also commend the right honorable Vice President for his astute leadership during these times of crisis. He was able to work to collectively obtain the security sector and senior advisors from across government to make sure that the number one priority and national interest, that is peace and security, is restored. Please should inform you that the Excellency President has arrived in Sierra Leone. I just received him to develop Vice President. He's arrived in Sierra Leone. And based on security briefing, the situation is under control. The security secretary has moved across the areas in the east and as far as also to confirm that the security situation is normalized. People are bringing about their normal business. And I want to encourage you also, our friends and partners, please go about your normal business. Don't allow a small group of terrorists. That's what I always hear living in the United Kingdom. Don't allow the terrorists to intimidate, bully, and harass you. Don't allow the terrorists to intimidate and harass you. Encourage your staff to come out, to talk about your normal business, that's why they talk to you. Encourage them. That is the only sure way to defeat the terrorists. continue the normal daily activities. We will provide the security that is needed. We are assured of our security, and the security sector have made it a priority that they will continue to provide security. For those of you who do not know, your premises, you are well guarded, without knowledge, security teams and units, they are deployed at strategic locations on an hourly basis. Your areas they are visited also to make sure that they are safe, and your team and staff and families are safe. So to rest assured, this is just a phase. We will go through this and we'll rise up again as a peace-loving, liberal, progressive country that has abolished the death penalty, that has no political prisoner, that has repealed the criminal law, that has allocated 22% of the national government to free quality education. And let me reassure you that we will organize a free, fair, credible, democratic election. I thank you. I'll be happy to take questions from here. If you are taking a question, we have the security sector on hand, who they will be happy to provide additional support or explanation. The foreign minister cannot be the security expert. We have the minister information communication as well here, who will also at hand. So the first one, the first one, the chief protocol will not operate.
For a very detailed, but also very detailed presentation regarding the events in our case. This is our interactive session. Perhaps we will be meeting for official development between countries, starting with the Minister of Information, and then of course we have the presidential spokesperson, and of course senior officials of the government, and then we will move down to the esteemed diplomatic or the elements, and of course the honorable minister will also stay as so others. Let us start with the diplomatic committee. If there are any comments, we will gladly welcome them.
Yes, we have the British High Commissioner, High Commissioner, Excellency.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good evening. First of all, thank you very much, Prime Minister, for such a comprehensive and useful briefing in this difficult time. I think the first thing I want to say, of course, is my condolences. It was shocking to see the loss of life, particularly those that lost their life in the line of duty. That's something we want to see. So my thoughts with absolutely everyone that was affected by these awful events yesterday. And I think it's a very sad day for Sierra Leone, not just because of the losses and damage that you so comprehensively outlined, but also, as you said, because it's really undermining the reset of a narrative on Sierra Leone that diverse strategic review and excellency have been seeking to change. And I also want to recognise how global economic hardship that this is made everywhere, including in the UK, the United where we're returning from, how that's playing into frustrations, political tensions, creating a very unhelpful combination right now. I'm very reassured by stating very clearly that government is seeking revenge. I have a couple of comments and then just a question, a few questions. I think my comments first of all are that the rights come with responsibilities. We do, from the UK perspective, believe that even in difficult times, people should have a right to take to the streets peacefully and in a more abiding way. And law enforcement needs space to do their job, and part of that job is also around de-escalation and ensuring any response is proportionate. there is no room for violence to bring about change, and that is absolutely clear. And I think the second comment, enforcement is absolutely key, of course, when violence takes place. We learned that is carried out responsibly, calmly and proportionately. And I do want to raise the concern, and I'm very interested to get a comment on this. I was concerned to hear already on social media channels and radio talk of accusations against opposition figures before arrests on the normal legal process has happened, and I am concerned about the informing things, so I welcome any comment on that. I think the question the Foreign Minister to answer is where does this go from here? You rightly urged us all to return to business as usual. I think that's a very welcome request. As head of the nation, I would welcome a review on what His Excellency sees as the next steps to de-escalate and ensure that Sierra Leone is quickly restored to a situation where the economy opens up and people will be able to go about their business. So how do we de-escalate? And my second question perhaps is for the ONS. We've heard shocking stories outlined here of the unacceptable police deaths. What did we track in terms of civilian injuries and deaths as well? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam High Commissioner, and I really appreciate your message of condolence. These are difficult times, especially because we really families so that is going along the way. On that note, the government theory and so that we bring internal affairs solution what they are already working on the party response to families. I like the government to make about rights with responsibility. And I will advise two people to comment on some of the societal issues that you raised. One is the president has posted Dr. Khan will also violence coordinate. But let me just briefly state that I like the point you made about de-escalation. That's something we are sure. As a government, we have a responsibility. Our responsibility is to de-escalate, not to escalate. It's always counterproductive to escalate. It's not no useful purpose. But also to reassure you what we are saying on social media. Also don't forget the propaganda. Before the 10th, my name was third on the list to be beheaded. It's not exactly this, I'm sure you have seen. So there's all that propaganda. So scare, intimidate, terrorize that this is what the government is doing. Of course, it's not bullying. When it's laugh, they always exaggerate what will happen. So, as a government, as a responsible government, we have a responsibility. We have already de-escalated the security situation in the east and as far as also we know fully under control, people are going about their normal business. There will be no rebellion. There is a rest assured of that. We are a credible government. We have abolished the death penalty with some countries are not able to do. We are a liberal, progressive country. We have opened up the doors of freedom of speech, which is not possible in some countries. Representative. We repealed the criminal libel law, 55-year-old criminal libel law. So because we are a liberal, progressive country, this thing that's supposed to come. But it's how we respond. We must respond proportionally, with responsibility and credibility and integrity. I don't want to engage the incoming Prime Minister. And the first question the incoming Prime Minister will raise will be your disproportionate response to the 10th of August 2022 violent insurrection. I don't want that to happen. To the rest of you. So I want to invite first and foremost the awareness coordinators to respond and to give you comments on that.
Let me thank you, the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Commission, and then also The question regarding as to whether we have what figures in respect of civilians, yes, we have. If you listen to the review on the World Minister, he did say that we are hiding the figures as of now we are not 4, but we are still trying to combine the figure from the western area and coming to Kamakuri. But the other thing is that Kamakuri was under siege by the terrorists, but from this morning 6 a.m. we are not taking over Kamakuri. So I have decided to Kamakuri. No man sees trust. I think there we have a major officers, joint RSF and SSP team had taken over Kamakuri from 6 a.m. this morning. But before this time, all the government officials ran away because they were hunting them, wanted to kill them. So that's all we have now. So the figure of the decision is 4 now, as well as we need to compile. And we let the figures out to the international committee and to other places that we need to do. Thank you.
Let me now invite the President of the Conference. He gives his special introduction. Dr. Arpan has been a senior APC government minister, presidential advisor, presidential candidate, recently as part of President Bureau's inclusive governance, was appointed and he accepted the appointment as resident minister of Northwest region. And I have just been recently appointed as presidential spokesperson for the presidency of the Republic of Syria. So over to you, Dr. Arpan, to respond to the comments.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. The Honorable Minister introduced me briefly, and that is the truth. For 16 years, I was sitting on the opposite end of this government. I was parliamentarian from 2002 to 2007. I was the publicity secretary of the ABC. And when we got into the government, I became the presidential affairs minister and spokesman of the president. I had various ministries: mines, information, political and public affairs. Before I was called to state house to be a special advisor to the president in 2016. During that period, I wanted to protest as a presidential candidate for the ABC. So I had to resign according to the Constitution, which I moved in reverence. I have a copy here. I resigned as I was the only presidential candidate at that time, fighting for the city. Who can I resign? And then followed by the government, the rest continued to get jobs and assumed that they were going to win the elections and then the Constitution was not. I know the Constitution rights reference. On the 4th of April 2018, we were in our last meeting with the President in his residence, and he informed us that the results did not come out as we expected. But if it does, fine, congratulations, Professor Samuel. But if it doesn't, please know that the Constitution requires that new presidents should be sworn in anywhere in the ceremony within an hour of pronouncement. So it was ready. It can even take part here. So then I can give him some time. And he told us for us to all go around our ideas in peace, and we will handle peacefully to the any government and our world. So I went to Portugal, which is my home, my refuge. And I went there, and there was an announcement before the April, and the president now was pronounced as the winner. I immediately took my phone and called him, congratulated him, and I was one of the first people to do that. That's it. I follow the Constitution. I am aware of Section 40, 1, 2, 3. which says that there shall be residents of the Republic of Sarah, which shall be founded in justice, and founded in honor, and that it shall be the repository of our national honors, and it shall be the symbol of our national unity and integrity. That's what I hold to be true and sacred in my life. The symbol of national unity, of Sierra and sovereignty. So I was ready to serve in the president if you had courage, and then I told you that. So I sat down for years. When the Corona came, I went to the strategic advisor. I accepted informed about it. And then I continued. And then later on, I was appointed resident minister of Northwest. I am there. And then now I am the spokesman. I think that is also a symbol to show that he is reaching out to the estate, and he has never asked me to join the SMB, and I think the registered in the organization. I think he has reached out also to other people. They do not have the same dispositions that I have. I go there because I want us to come together. I have always described myself as a bridge to the north, to the south. We don't have a fundamental difference. We have the same people. Now I always say that some of us went to school in politics. I engaged in what we call intellectual dishonesty, misleading with the wrong information. I have no problem with people in the south. My two sisters are married in the south. I have my sister's children, grandchildren, over 80 in Canada, over children. My youngest sister. The other one is married to the brother of chief of Damu. Chief of my sister married, she speaks many more than 10. And I have nephews and nieces in Damu. So how can I now see these people as my enemies? I do know that a lot of northern people, they are married in the south. Our former president, Dr. Joseph Moore, married from Moyana. Current president, English past president, married from the East in Kuru. The current former, like that, married from Puja. And lots of them, the former governor, also married from Thailand. I mean, we are the same people, it's just some people want to confuse us. That's why I make myself, in my language, we call it Isonne. In other words, I make myself the guinea pig of national unity. I see a lot of insults. But I tell them that I am doing this for you, maybe if your time is past, but for posterity and the children that follow us. I want them to know that I are still people. They say, no, it's to be united. With Titi and the many nations seem to be working together, where our lives could 33%. That's more than half. So if we come together, we must work together. So that is my reason for being in this government. And I do that because I believe President Malala. I know that when he was a head of state in 1996 for 3 months, he brought in the democratic process, and I know within 3 months of taking over. It must be a man with courage and big heart to do that. And I told him so I said last, when I at the reception, I said, "Are you grateful?" And I said, "Yes, I may come back." And to the truth, he came back, but peacefully. When the war was raging, he was the one who sought out the rebellion for the Son of God. And when he said he was going to put him on ready for all to listen, we didn't believe, because some of us thought that the Son was a ghost. Nobody knew where he was. But he brought him out of the world. And only when we were identified and we were able to talk peace, and no longer command forward. So for me, President Liu is determined we should give him the opportunity to do so. And they don't do my review. Yesterday, my house was tested 3 times, 3 days in Portland. We went there, friend and wife, security there. But the people are unknown. And I said, let's go, we come from the same district. And we related in another way. But there was a threat in his home. I didn't get. They were attempted to enter the airport. And I just was killed by the enemy. in North East, Northwest where I am, we are gathering here million people. And yesterday, only a handful of 100 people or so were out in the protocol. I didn't know there were 60 people who must die because noise. So for me, this was the popular uprising, which was what they were saying. It's going to be a popular uprising because of the high cost of living. But it wasn't. We have 7.5 million people in this area. Those saw yesterday do not know about 20,000 in total. So that is not popular uprising. That is a chaotic arrangement, a chaotic construct. So I believe that President Trump, and I'm happy as well, I've been prepared all night for me to surprise us. So I'm happy that I heard that there is now, and now I know the confidence of every scenario will do a confidence by success. When the President is the symbol of our national unity, the repository of our national honors and integrity is dark in the country. So I think it will be for national unity. I attended the 2023. I was one of the reasons for the opposition would be that. Because the agenda there was to set up an ICPNC, Independent Commission of Peace and National Community. Wonderful. I said that's what we need in the country. And I think that, in terms of de-escalation, it should keep some strength now to be able to reach out together and tell them that said we don't have to follow and we want to country. So I thank you.
To continue the round of questioning, each member of the community, development partners, yes, from this side of the room, you can announce yes.
Every single person who really know that the government will be announcing opposition. So we try to also know that the government are very sensitive and the language in their own which get past to the return of normalcy. And also one of them sheets of Mr. President by the maybe for the first time someone will hear me speaking into because the situation in Terrorism is affecting my own country, my own citizens directly. In the sense that there are series of ugly voice messages going around in Syria, calling for the attacks on Nigerian citizens, condemning or castigating Nigerian soldiers by dragging us in that Nigerian soldiers are part of this ugly incidents going on in Terrorism. I felt so bad because if you go back to the history event, you agree with me that if Sierra Leoneans and Sierra Leone as a country will not praise Nigeria always, then they shouldn't drag us by castigating us. Having known the level of self-sacrifices in various areas that have direct bearings to the life and citizens of this country, we never see ourselves as not part of the development, the togetherness, and the national state of this country. I have to voice here with Honorable Minister, but I wouldn't want to play it because some things are better handled in a special way. So in case of Sierra Leone and Nigeria, please, I want this government to put more effort in sensitizing your people. It's like they don't really know the role Nigeria is playing for the stabilization of this country. It's like they don't know the sacrifices we are making. I lost an uncle, family member in this country, who was among the 1,000 soldiers that were surrounded by the rebels, which were later rescued. His first assignment in Sierra Leone, he was among the people, as they are landing to cross the water, they were bombarded. All these things are still fresh in our memories. So many Nigerians, thousands of Nigerian soldiers died in this country. And here somebody who just either in the name of political opposition or in the name of being a rebel, like a terrorist, you just wake up and start castigating that they should attack Nigerian businesses in Sierra Leone. They don't even care to know how they are contributing to the development of the economy of this country. They don't care to know that if we should withdraw our investment in this country, they care to know how it's going to be. Nigeria have never in return, let me stop here because of the diplomats, but we should please go beyond this by sensitizing our citizens, letting them know and who is their friend. Their enemy is within them. You are destroying government properties already. Who owns the government property? They don't know that they own government properties. It belongs to them. They are the government. So there is no need to go to this level. On these notes, I want to thank you very much for calling us to this meeting this morning. This is the best you can do. And this will now put us in a position to have the right thinking towards forwarding our various efforts. I pray that God Almighty, in His infinite mercy, will come to the aid of this country by using us, by using the citizens, and by using the government to calm this situation so that the peace that we're all enjoying will continue to exist. One thing you've got to understand is that you can plan a riot, a crisis, a war, but you don't know how it will end. And you don't know whom it may affect. Thank you very much.
On that note, I thank you very much, High Commissioner. I will invite the Minister of Information and Communication to make a brief comment. But before that, Your Excellency, I mean, it's common knowledge that we have a special relationship with the Federal Republic of Nigeria, government and people of Nigeria. If we have peace today in Sierra Leone, it's because of the sacrifice, the leadership and contribution of the Nigerian-led ECOWAS peacekeeping, peacemaking and convention in Sierra Leone. And I have been with President Bio, who consistently has made public pronouncements in Nigeria, but also at the ECOWAS summit, publicly thanking Nigeria, the government and people of Nigeria, for their selfless sacrifice in bringing about peace in Sierra Leone. So So I want to reassure you, I have seen and heard those clips, and we have taken the position that we want to engage you at a bilateral level to reassure you. But that is not the position of government and the majority of the 1.75 million. Your Excellency, this is politics. In the run-up to election, those who want to secure political power at all costs will destroy friendship. The objective is to terrorize, misinform, manipulate, create war, divide and rule. They know that we have a special relationship with Nigeria. They know that Nigeria has supported us to take, to go to the UN Security Council. They know the trade and investment in the country. They know that Nigeria supported us and His Excellency the President to secure the chairperson role of the African Peer Review Mechanism. They know all of these, what Nigeria has been doing. So what better way is to divide and rule, put a wedge, to distance Nigeria from Syria, to ensure that the investments are withdrawn. This is what terrorists do. But we should never give in. Your Excellency, Nigeria is bigger than that. Nigeria understands politics. You understand the nitty-gritties of our own nuanced, complex, pecuniary-driven, violent politics. It's not the politics of Labour and Conservatives as the... I'm talking about the United Kingdom because I just came back from London. So that's the recent example. I don't talk about the United States, it's something different, because I've not been here for a while. But when we talk about democracy, we see the different nuances of democracy. But it's not the same type of democratic participation and contestation. So this is what they are doing, to divide and rule. So my comment to our development partners is to be attuned. Nothing here is the same. Chinua Achebe said, the famous Nigerian author, said, "No one can tell me my story. When you come to a stranger's house, don't go into the room. Ask for the stranger to tell you where the switch is. Otherwise, you'll be groping in the dark, breaking your legs or your neck, etc." So for our development partners, when you come to this room, talk to us who know. Don't grope in the dark. It is not what they tell you is the gospel truth. Some people who work with some of you have their own agenda, so they misinform. They misinform you. Deliberately. We've seen it. We have intelligence. Please don't make the mistake of seeing them as benign, friendly Sierra Leoneans. No. Not all of them are benign, friendly Sierra Leoneans. Their objective is a political aim to misinform, manipulate, and embarrass you. Because when the facts come out, you will be embarrassed. So please, as much as you value the competence and effectiveness of your staff, they are human beings. They are Sierra Leoneans with political interests. So that is a very telling comment from the Nigerian High Commission. I want to give the floor to the Minister of Information and Communication.
Thank you very much, Dr. Francis, Your Excellencies, colleagues. Your presentation was graphic and cinematic, almost to the point that I'm left very to see. But there are some concern here around vague accusations of opposition leaders, even before the inquiries are stated, right? I had that from the Commission. But also, again, to quote the famous Nigerian writer, Achebe, he noted a lot of novels that you can't remember whether they began to beat you, you can't tell whether you tried to pardon. So in 2007, in the BBC interview, the former president, under whom my big brother, immediate predecessor, Honorable Al-Papasa, did say in the BBC interview that if he did not win that election that year, he would make the country ungovernable. Straight in 2018, the last flag bearer of the ABC also said on record, and I have that one to put it here, he did say, if it was not win the elections, it would cause all sorts of problems. More recently, he made very tribal statements against his own in-laws, right? So all of this is systematic, it's a pattern. So people are making conclusions even before we get to where we're getting. And like the foreign minister pointed out, this looks a well-choreographed, a well-financed, well-lubricated, well-rehearsed, properly funded insurrection. It was not spontaneous, it was not whimsical. So we have reasons, we have lived here. As for the Nigerian situation, I mean, it's very sad that a group of very self-seeking Sierra-Leoneans who care about nothing but themselves at heart and center, who must be in government at all times, who want to intimidate our friends, our partners, to abandon Sierra Leone. But the relationship between us goes beyond that. I remember one of the foremost journalists in this country and I were hiding during January 6th in Nigeria. One of the guys who worked at Congo Times, he was taken away from that crowd and murdered. We never saw him. So government appreciates the supreme sacrifice, the ultimate pride Nigerians feel in the search of our peace. So we will continue to respect that. I'm happy by the fact that the Prime Minister has promised a bilateral to discuss. Your Excellencies, this is an assault and a frontal attack on democracy. What happened yesterday should not happen anywhere. Like it's mentioned, I mean, yes, we understand there is global economic crisis. But even in the midst of this crisis, this government is taking all decisions to ameliorate the impact on Sierra Leoneans. It is still the same crisis that we have been doing direct cash transfers to small businesses. It is still the same crisis that we have launched the Monarch Fund to support small medium enterprises. It is during the same crisis that we give direct cash and other support items to people living with disabilities. It is during the same crisis, the twin problems of the twin global problems, that we have continued to support free quality education. It is during the same period that we have decriminalized life. We have done all of these things. This cannot be a government that wants to strangulate freedoms. This cannot be a government that is not pro-people. But as we engage, it's also good that our farm, the other people who cannot wait for 2023 should understand that this is a country of law and like the Foreign Minister has pledged, this government remains committed to ensuring free and fair and free from fair elections. But still, the core tenets and values of democracy have to be respected. I'm acting by the fact that the Excellency is back and the commitment will continue. Thank you very much.
We'll now invite the ambassador of Arab Republic of Egypt.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the I'm happy to hear that the government is taking all measures to protect us, to protect our embassies, our residences, and our economic presence here. We are also not like Nigeria. We are also present here. We have our companies, we have our businessmen, we have our presence in health, in mining, and we continue to contribute in the welfare of the civilian economy, and we wish all the best to all our brothers and sisters here in Sierra Leone. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for your message of support and solidarity But also to reassure you, this is a very firm commitment. The directive is given for the protection of all embassies and residences. So please, be rest assured. If it means some of us have to go out and put on our military uniforms and civilian uniforms, as civilian protected civil defense forces, we will do to protect you because we need you here to do your job. It's our responsibility. But of course, we do not come to that, Your Excellencies. We have enough credible, capable security sector to provide and continue to provide them. There was a discussion as to open an emergency line for diplomatic community members. For those who have any special concern, the Office of National Security did say to communicate that they will put a dedicated line if there are any issues that you want emergency response. So they will pass that.
For the airport, just for the airport, you know the importance of the airport, of course, for us. The airport, everything is okay.
And be rest assured, the airport is the first registered as critical infrastructure. Critical infrastructure. Anybody who dares to, who is not supposed to be there, will be dealt with the full force of the law. Make no mistake. That's the directive has been given by the security sector. So nobody should be hesitant to go to the airport and continue your normal business. No. Anybody found in the vicinity who is not supposed to be there with any criminal intent or terrorist intent, we will deal with it. Family, fearless, to send a very powerful message. Don't try it anymore. We have now the Emperor Secretary General and then followed by His Excellency, the Gambian High Commissioner.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Excellency Minister of Foreign Affairs, colleagues from the Diplomatic Corps and senior government officials here present, our resident coordinator of the United Nations system. I want to thank you and join others in the sentiment expressed on offering our condolences to the families of active servicemen who lost their lives and the ordinary innocent people as well. From the perspective of the Manifesto, we are very, very concerned about the developments during this week. We did not take kindly to the protest, faceless protest that was called on Monday. We saw that as an economic loss, waste of the whole day's business, and we equally were in condemnation of the violent protests which occurred yesterday and brought what was seen as very peaceful part of the community of 4 to a grinding halt, and the kinds of images that went out. But we are also equally concerned about the categorization of what is the problem now. And within the context of the MRU, we are concerned because Liberia and Sierra Leone will be going into elections next year, and we know this is about contestation. Now, in the case of Liberia, we are also concerned about the deteriorating security situation. So when we see this happening in Sierra Leone, we are concerned. We will be coming out with a statement on the 4 countries because we see that Guinea has again engaged with ECOWAS to look at the situation to return to normalcy. And of course, Cote d'Ivoire is also making conscious effort to de-escalate tension, and with the pardoning of former President Gbagbo by His Excellency President Ouattara. So we are concerned that we just did a study with ADB and the UN OPS on the fragility of these countries. Now, when you categorize this situation as terroristic, it has its own connotation onto fragility. And I know that, Honorable Minister, at some point you had, when you were Chief Minister, you had made a case for Sierra Leone to not be seen as a fragile state. So, as the commissioner from the British High Commissioner said, this is like you're setting the clock back. Not you, I mean, the situation sets it back. So I'm just wondering how we will manage, because we have come in, as we said, to listen. As neighbors, when our neighbor's house is on fire, we are concerned. And so we also want to be able to see how we can help. Not to harden positions, but if you have the need to want to open up a little bit more space to hear, I think that maybe in each of the organizations or the bilateral, this is an opportunity beyond this that would also encourage more listening. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Your Excellency. Again, I really appreciate your condolence message, especially those who have lost their lives in the line of duty, but also to recognize the support of minority union. But let me make some clarification. Sierra Leone is not Liberia. Make no mistake. Sierra Leone is not Guinea. Make no mistake. Sierra Leone, liberal, progressive country. Before the 10th of August, ranked as the 4th most peaceful country in sub-Saharan Africa. So Sierra Leone is not Guinea, it's not Liberia. So let's don't conflict those issues. But what I also want to be very clear about, Your Excellency, is the goodwill that we have. President Bio has provided de facto leadership in mobilizing regional, sub-regional response within the Mali River Union. I have seen him engage with the former president of Guinea, President Condé. I've seen him engage with the new CNRD leadership. I've seen him engage constructively with President George Weah of Liberia. So, as far as President Bio is concerned, his concept of the sub-region is the fire next door. What happens in Liberia affects Sierra Leone, what happens in Sierra Leone affects Liberia and Guinea, etc. So he has been proactive, and he's playing that constructive leadership role. At the level of the foreign ministers, yesterday when this incident happened, it's a localized incident. Freetown, the east, north, and the northwest. It's not the rest of Sierra Leone. It happened in a particular stronghold region for political purposes. Let's be clear about it. You've been here for a number of years now. You must be very clear about the nuanced politics in this country. You live next door, in Liberia. So you're familiar with the politics and how things happen. You have been here in the previous government and now this government. So we've engaged at the foreign minister's level. I went to Mano River, I went to Liberia, and within the context of the Mano River Union, we agreed. And this is what we've done even from yesterday, to escalate and heighten border security patrols. Because we know that we are all leading on to elections. In Liberia, in Sierra Leone, Guinea is a bit different. So our goal is to make sure that we have peace and security in Liberia, in Sierra Leone, and in Guinea. For the simple reason, what happens in one country affects the other countries. So that is very much the case that has to be made. Sierra Leone is different from Guinea, different from Liberia, and we are making efforts. I want to reassure you, Madam Secretary General, that as I speak, we have the Ministers of Internal Affairs and the Ministers of Defense in Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Guinea cooperating on border security issues. So we are far ahead of it. And at the foreign ministers level, we've already agreed that there must be a communication to the Secretariat to urgently convene and encourage the heads of states to convene the Mano River Summit to agree on some of these issues. Having said that though, categorization or labeling is deliberate. We are not hiding anything. We are just calling things by their name. Diplomatically, yes. Political correctness, yes. But what you saw on that video, the graphic images of 5 police officers killed, you cannot call it any other way, Your Excellency, but terrorist attack. It is not hiding anything. We are just calling it by the name. We know that that's what is happening in Nigeria when these things happen. We know in UK, in United States, etc. Do you want to tell me, Your Excellency, that because of the January 6th attack on Congress in the United States, is that the end of democracy in the United States? No. This is an established democracy, with the institutions of democracy credible. But these things happen. It doesn't mean that the United States is, the democracy in the United States is weak. No. Because it happened. And we're very clear in the United States, they use the terminology terrorist attack on the United States, an insurrection. This is the United States of America. So what is wrong if we use the name and we define what terrorism is? What is wrong with that? We've got to define it. Similarly, we use force, violence to intimidate, bully, harass, maim, kill, terrorize for political end. This is what happened yesterday. There's no way, Excellency, we can call it. Let's call it spade by a spade. You are from Nigeria. You should know all of these things. So moving forward, we are very proactive that we will do what it takes to make Sierra Leone a law and order country. And that's why the primary priority is to restore peace, security, and stability so that all of us can go. Terrorists everywhere that I know are treated as terrorists. So it's not about hiding, it's not about divide. Except if you want to tell me, probably because the question is, you're talking about create a space for dialogue. I'm yet to see where the United Kingdom has been dialoguing terrorists. I'm yet to see where the United States has been dialoguing terrorists. I'm yet to see, sorry if I'm not calling on, it's not a deliberate attempt. I am not seeing where Nigeria has been dialoguing with terrorists. But what is more, you yourself said, Your Excellency, that it's faceless. Nobody has owned up this. So who are we going to dialogue with? Except if you know who these people are. But then if you do, please bring them here so we can engage them today, because it's a responsible government. If you know them, please bring them here today. We are happy to see. I as foreign minister anywhere in this country, I will go with you or we will assemble them here. Bring them here. Well, you said it's faceless, so how can we dialogue? Also, I saw a tweet on the same message of dialogue, and my question was, that is positive. It's good to talk about dialogue, but do you dialogue with these people? A police officer has been butchered to death, and yet still they have machetes and sticks, axe, hitting the dead person. How do you dialogue with that type of person? Who is drunk? Who is on drug? How do you? So my suggestion to all of you who are making a case for dialogue, please help us. We want peace and security in this country. You yourself have said it's faceless. Please, if you know them, because if you're talking about dialogue, it presupposes that you know them, you know where they live. So please, help us to bring them together. We will engage with them today, not even tomorrow, because we believe in dialogue. This is the experience of this country. We have gone through a brutal civil war. Dr. African mentioned the mythology created about the RUF finish. People did not believe that he existed. But it took the leadership of now President Julius Maada to say, I will engage the rebel units. And I remember the comment of the then Justice Minister, Attorney General Minister of Justice, the late Vice President Solomon Barrow. He said to me in private, while he was at Bradford University after he lost the election, he said the first time he saw Corporal Fudisanko and they left them both in the room, he said he wanted to get up and strangle him. I said, why? He said, because he went, his people butchered all my people in my village. Well, I remember. I've been appointed by President Kaba as Attorney General and Minister of Justice to come and represent the government and people of Sierra Leone. I cannot take matters into my hands. I have to lead by emotion. Despite my personal support, he said President Liu, our then military head of state, has gone a long way to bring the RUF leader out. So when we give that dialogue, it's important. But we don't know who these faceless people are, as you yourself said. So if you help us to find them, we will have that dialogue, because it's only through dialogue that we can have peace. We now want to move on to the Ghanaian High Commissioner and then the Dean. Sorry, Your Excellency, my apologies. The Ghanaian High Commissioner and then the Dean of the diplomatic community. Thank you.
Good morning, Honorable Minister. May I also recognize all protocols. I want to, on behalf of the government and the people of the Gambia, wish to express our collective condolence to the government and the people of the Republic of Sierra Leone for the loss of life, and also to express our regrets for the destruction and vandalization of public and private properties. I want to also assure you that the government and the people of the Gambia will continue to stand shoulder to shoulder with the government and the people of the Republic of Sierra Leone in this difficult time, and ready to support your efforts for the total restoration of law and order. With your kind permission, Honorable Minister, allow me to add is my humble opinion that in order to further nurture, deepen and cement sustainable peace and development, and if I may reference the government of Sierra Leone's highly commendable success in the area of education by championing radical inclusion, perhaps it would be a good thing too for all people across all divides to continue to promote radical political inclusion and tolerance. We have a problem with our government, and this is not only unique to Sierra Leone, but unfortunately in a lot of other African countries. Politics and the way we go about living, see it as a win-lose game, has caused a lot of destruction, delay in various projects or programs and programs. Politics will be seen as a win. And so you should know that you are aware that in the experience of the Gambia, I'd like to also reference this. 2017 coming to now, before 2017, 2016, at the end of 2016, and early part of 2017. You know about the history of Ghana. One fundamental wisdom, in my opinion, that has helped us to keep the peace and stability. Not all of us in Ghana, not that about it. But while we are still moving small little ways forward is by promoting political inclusion. And I think Sierra Leone moving forward will do itself a great favor, in my opinion, to bring down barriers and promote inclusion and cooperation. Thank you very much.
So we have, again, thank you, Your Excellency, for the comments, in particular, your very clear comment on the need to encourage and focus on political inclusion and tolerance. And this is really the mantra of His Excellency the President. And as you see from the presence of Dr. Al-Khan and many others who hold strategic positions, who have served in previous administration and are part of put other positions out, etc. That is a demonstration that you cannot win peace without political inclusion. You cannot win peace without inclusive development for everyone. So tolerance is at the heart of it. And today, Sierra Leone has a permanent address for peace, and that is the Independent Commission for Peace and National Cohesion. So we have an infrastructure for peace as what we put together. So can you imagine the war ended in 2001, 2002? It took 2019 to establish an infrastructure for peace. So we are making progress, and I'm happy that you recognize that it's not quick fix, short-term exit strategy. It's a gradual process. On that note, I wanted to invite the Dean, followed by the American Ambassador, and that will be the end of the hearing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Minister. And I would like to join my colleagues and others who have extended their sympathy to you for the loss of your security personnel and citizens during this riot yesterday. Sorry about that, like I said, I'd like to extend our existing protocols, and I'd like to also extend deepest sympathy to you for the loss of your security personnel and your citizens yesterday. You know, even though you said that Nigeria is different from Sierra Leone, I tend to disagree with you. Because yesterday, what happened here, it was like happening in Liberia. I have never received so many calls from our country, especially my officials of government, since I've been here 4 years like yesterday. Minister of Defense, Minister of Justice, everybody was calling to a strike because of what was happening here. So our country is not much different from our country because we share common people. So everybody just wanted to make that clear. And I appreciate the fact that the situation has come under control. Because yesterday was a little bit scary, very, very scary because of the calls, internet, and WhatsApp and whatnot. And all the gruesome pictures we are seeing. But it's good to know that things are under control. And I hope that, like it's promised, there will be a lot of awareness. So that next time, the young people especially, because they just follow blindly. You know, sometimes they tend to blame them because of the drugs and whatnot. But they really don't understand things that are happening. So maybe government should help them with real awareness, education, to know that following people just against the social media and getting out for demonstration is their loss. So, thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Your Excellency, and in particular your warm words of solidarity and support during this very difficult time. 9 points about Sierra Leone and Nigeria and Guinea was all in political sense, and where we are in terms of the ranking of peace, security, and stability. All Sierra Leoneans, all Nigerians know that we have an invincible border mentality. We crisscross, we are not one people, we have intermarriages, etc., etc. So that was the context. It was really in terms of the ranking and politics, not so much in terms of the social and geographical expression called Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Guinea. And now to the American ambassador, but let me make it clear. I've used the example of the United Kingdom only as a convenient example because I've just been in London recently. So I'm much more familiar with examples. So it was not to put Madam High Commissioner on the spot. Similarly, Your Excellency, Ambassador, I love America, and I follow the developments in America passionately. So I thought I'd use the handy-friendly example, because not in any way to put the United States of America and the ambassador on the spot. So that's a caveat. Thank you.
you very much, Mr. Minister. All protocols observed. I want to thank you very much for bringing us all together this morning for this briefing. It's been very helpful. And I also want to express, on behalf of my country, condolences to the family and friends of people who lost their lives yesterday, particularly to the families of law enforcement officials who lost their lives during the job. This is completely unacceptable. I also want to say thank you for the job your ministry has done in terms of security for my people and myself. I want to say through everything I felt safe and everybody in our embassy felt safe. So thank you very much for that. Yesterday, Washington released a statement on the situation in Sierra Leone. It's a brief statement. I'll just read it so that everyone knows where we stand on this. The statement is, we are gravely concerned by reports of violence surrounding today's demonstrations in Sierra Leone. We urge all parties to stay calm, promote accountability, and ensure respect for human rights and fundamental freedoms. And so in that vein, I was very happy to hear your talk about de-escalation and the need for dialogue. I would say one thing on January 6th, the people who entered the Capitol were eventually arrested and put on trial. A number of them have been sentenced to prison, and a number of them are in prison right now. But not everyone who demonstrated on January 6th was arrested or is an insurrectionist, just as not everyone here in Sierra Leone who protested yesterday is a terrorist. There's distinctions, and I think it would be helpful in lowering the tension to always keep that in mind. Finally, a question for the Minister of Information and Communication. One thing that makes my capital nervous is when they can't communicate with us. And so what are the plans going forward in terms of the availability of cell phone coverage and internet? Thank you.
By social media accounts supposed to be on death row, right? Among 14 government officials who is listed protest by these terrorists because of my role in promoting government policies. Now to, the question. This is exactly part of the things Professor Francis has been talking about. Real violence only undermines, progress we have made those far country. I am reliably informed by NAFCO that the insurrectionists which prepare targeted key installations, one of them being the internet yesterday. So they put out a public statement, they were working on it, and I am reliably informed that it's all running. His Excellency always says, when people wake up in the morning, it is not the next meal that they think about. It's whether they have credit on their phone so that they can stay connected to their friends, family, and loved ones. So, as internet fixated as anybody else in the room, as government, we will not, under any circumstance, disconnect the internet. But this is just part of counting the cost of the insurrection yesterday. I have been assured, and I have no reason to doubt it. Probably your internet is restored because it's assured yesterday that you walk around the clock during the curfew. That was for that reason I will grant that exemption, so that essential service workers will continue to work to ensure that social services don't break down. Again, you mentioned radical inclusion. Your Excellencies, President Liu is very committed. By the nature of his appointments, every nook and cranny in government is from different parts of the country. I remember during the town hall debate recently, he made his preference known for proportional representation. He did say one of the reasons for the shadows of African democracy is the winner take all approach. So he is ready, willing, and ready to discuss that further as part of the process of radical inclusion without inclusion. I just needed to add that. Thank you very much.
and I did get the chance to thank the American ambassador for your comments. And I also heartened to hear that you felt safe. It's not very often to hear American ambassadors in challenging environments talking about being safe. But this is Sierra Leone. This is the beauty of this country. And when I say Sierra Leone is the most beautiful country in the world, I believe it because my daughter told me so. We've traveled extensively as we were growing up. And then she said, when we came in 2018, she said, this is the most beautiful country we've ever visited. I said, no, this is your country. It took my 14-year-old daughter to remind me that Sierra Leone is the most beautiful country. Secondly, Sierra Leone is a peaceful country. The people in Sierra Leone are peace-loving people, friendly people. So what happened yesterday is not a representation of Sierra Leone and Sierra Leoneans. So on this note, on behalf of His Excellency, the President Dr. Julius Maada, on behalf of the Right Honorable Vice President Dr. Mohamed Jallo, on behalf of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation as represented by the Deputy Minister, Director General, on behalf of colleague ministers as represented by the Minister of Information and Communication and the Deputy Minister of Technical and Higher Education, and on behalf of the security sector, let me thank you for making this time to come and engage with us in terms of this briefing. The message is very clear. We are partners in development. We have gone a long way and we have made the effort to support the restoration of peace, security, and stability in this country. So we have a collective responsibility to ensure that we continue to work together. We will not always get it right, but we will make the effort. In the true spirit of critical friendship, I hope that all the views expressed here are made in the spirit as critical friends. Friendship doesn't mean, and partnership doesn't mean you always have to agree. It is when we dialogue, it's when we meet together, and that is when we make the progress for peace, security, and stability. And finally, I want to encourage you to talk about your normal business. Do not be intimidated by terrorists. They cannot win. The people of Sierra Leone will always win. That is peace, security, inclusive governance, inclusive development. I thank you very much. Thank you.